Hello, this is Kamlega Jonathan. Today I want us to work out that number using matrix method. Take an example. If you're given a question which is 4x plus 3y minus 17 is equals to 0, and then 5x minus 2y is equals to 4. They want us to find the value of x and y using matrix method. These are simultaneous equations, and this is how we can answer such a question. We are going to start with solution. One, you're going to start by rewriting these two expressions. The 4x plus 3y is the same as 17, and then 5x minus 2y is equals to a 4. The first step is we need to make sure that the x's are in the same line, the y's are in the same line, and also the constants are in the same line. If we achieve that, then we are going to write our matrix. You're going to write our number in the matrix form. And this can be done in this way. Therefore, you're going to say you're going to have 4, 3, 5, and negative 2 into a matrix. These ones, they are multiplied with x and y is equals to, this will be 17 and 4. Close the bracket. That's the matrix equation I have created. I can say equation 1. Therefore, I will let my matrix A to be the same as 4, 3, 5, and negative 2. That's the matrix which I've created. What I'm going to do, if I'm to work out using a matrix method, then I need to get the adjoint of a matrix A. Therefore, I can come here and I find the adjoint of my expression following this method of adjoints. I'll come and I'll say my A expression is equals to, which is 4, 3, 5, and negative 2. To get the adjoint of A, the adjoint of A to be the same as, what we do, we change position of the major diagonal numbers, negative 2 and 4, and we change signs of the minor diagonal numbers, negative 3. In this case, these are positives, they're going to become negatives in our adjoint. After getting our adjoint, we are going to multiply this adjoint on both sides of our equation 1. Therefore, I'll come and write my adjoint, which is negative 2, negative 3, negative 5, and 4. I am multiplying it with my equation 1, which is 4, 3, 5, and negative 2. I close the bracket. This was going to be multiplied by x and y. Close the bracket is equals to my adjoint here. In this case, it is negative 2, negative 3, negative 5, and 4. Close the bracket. I'm going to multiply it with my matrix. Our matrix here, it is 17 and 4. But remember, before we multiply, we need to test and see if these two numbers are multiplicable. We can multiply them. I'm going to get the order of this adjoint plus the order of this matrix. The order of this adjoint is going to be 2 by 2. You know how to get the order. These are rows and then by columns. Also here we have 2 rows and then the columns we have 2. That's 2 by 2. Here we have 2 rows, 2, and 2 columns, 2. Here we have 2 rows and the column is 1. If this number here the same as that one, therefore these two numbers or these two matrices can be multiplied. Also here this one is the same as that one. Also these two matrices can be multiplied. If we have achieved that, then we go on and we do the multiplication. We multiply a row goes with a column. Therefore, in this case, we are going to have our multiplication. Negative 3 multiplies with a 4. Negative 2 times 4, then plus negative 3 times 5. Negative 3 times 5. How we move on? Negative 2 times 3, the negative 2 times 3, then plus negative 3 times negative 2. Negative 3 times negative 2. Cross that bracket. We come here, negative 5 times 4 plus 4 times 5. 4 times 5. How we come here again, negative 5 times 3 plus 4 times negative 2. This multiplies with x and y. is equals to, here you're going to do the same multiplication. Rows goes with columns. Negative 2 times 17, negative 2 times 17, plus negative 3 times 4, negative 3 times 4. Cross the bracket. Here again, here, this will be 5, negative 5 times 17, then plus 4 times 4, 4 times 4. Then we come and do some addition here. Let's try to multiply up here and see. Negative 2 times 4, it's going to give us negative 8, plus negative 3 times 5, it's going to give us negative 15. Negative 2 times 3 to give us negative 6, then plus 6. Negative 5 times 4 to give us negative 20, plus 4 times 5 to give us 20. Negative 5 times 3, it's going to give us negative 15. Then plus 4 times 2, 4 times 2 negative, it's going to give us negative 8. Negative 8, cross the bracket, and this is x and y, cross the bracket, is equals to, here if we multiply here, we have negative 2 times 17, it's going to give us negative 34, plus 3 times 4, negative 3 times 4, it's going to give us negative 12. Then close that bracket. We're going to close that bracket. Then if we move further here, negative 5 times 17, it's going to give us negative 85, plus 4 times 4, it's going to give us 16. If you try to add up here, then we can move further. If you try to add up here to see how can we relate up with what we are doing continuously. If I try to add up here, negative 8 plus 17 plus negative 15, it's going to give us negative 23. This will be a 0. This will be a 0. Negative 15 plus negative 8 will be negative 23. Negative 23, cross the bracket, and this will be x and y is equals to, if I try to add here, negative 34 plus negative 12, it's going to give us negative 46. And then this will give us negative 69. Cross the bracket. Okay, now since we have that, let me rub off here so that we can create more space where we can work from. Okay, since now we have created this concept, meaning that if I try to multiply this with this one here, I'll end up having negative 23x and also having negative 23y. This will be equivalent to our expression, which is negative 46 and negative 69. Cross the bracket. This implies that negative 23x is equals to negative 46. If I divide through by negative 23, divide through by negative 23, gets out. My x will be the same as 2. It will be 2.0. Also, the same concept can be applied on the downer one. It means that negative 23y is equals to negative 69. I divide through by negative 23. Also here by negative 23. Gets out. Meaning that my y in this case will be negative 69 divided by negative 23. If I simplify this one, my y to be the same as 3. Therefore, by using the concept of matrix method, I can be able confidently solve a simultaneous equation, and I've got my value of x as 2 and my value of y as 3.